He said, "You are not my first wife. The truth shocked me. My name is Hannah Brooks. I married a man named Ethan Cole. He was tall, handsome, and everyone in town called him the perfect gentleman." On our wedding night, we sat together in our new home. The candles flickered softly, and I felt like the happiest woman alive. Ethan smiled at me and held my hand, but then his face grew serious. He whispered, "Hannah, before we go further, I must tell you something." I looked at him, surprised. My heart began to beat faster. Ethan took a deep breath and said, "You are not my first wife." The words struck me like lightning. I pulled my hand away and stared at him. "What do you mean?" I asked, my voice trembling. He stood up and walked to the window, not meeting my eyes. "There was someone before you," he whispered. The room grew silent, and I felt like the walls were closing in. My happiness turned into fear. I needed answers. I demanded, "Tell me everything right now." He sat down again, his eyes filled with guilt. "Her name was Clara," he said. "We were married 3 years ago, but one night she disappeared. No one ever found her." My skin turned cold. "Disappeared? What do you mean, disappeared?" I asked. He nodded slowly. "She left the house, and she never returned. Some people believed she ran away. Others thought something darker happened." My heart pounded so loud I could hear it. I asked myself, did I just marry a dangerous man? I tried to stay calm. I asked him, "Why didn't you tell me before the wedding?" Ethan covered his face with his hands. "Because I thought I could move on. I thought I could start fresh with you. But tonight, looking into your eyes, I couldn't keep this secret." My body shook. 100 thoughts rushed through my mind. What if Clara's ghost was still in this house? What if Ethan was hiding something more? I felt both fear and pity at the same time. That night, I couldn't sleep. I lay awake, staring at the ceiling, while Ethan tossed and turned beside me. Every sound in the house made me jump. At midnight, I heard footsteps outside our room. My breath caught. I shook Ethan awake. He listened, then opened the door, but the hallway was empty. "Maybe it's the wind," he whispered. But I knew what I heard. Fear wrapped around me like a shadow. I began to wonder, was Clara still here? The next morning, I decided to find out the truth myself. While Ethan was in the garden, I searched the old drawers in his study. Inside, I found a dusty photo album. On the first page was Clara's picture. She looked young, beautiful, and almost like me. My hands shook as I turned the pages. Letters, love notes, even a wedding photo were there. But at the end, there was a torn page. Something had been ripped out. My heart raced. What was Ethan hiding? When Ethan returned, he caught me holding the album. His face darkened. "Hannah, you shouldn't have gone through my things," he said firmly. I stepped back, my voice breaking. "You lied to me, Ethan. How can I trust you?" He grabbed the album and slammed it shut. For a moment, I saw anger in his eyes, an anger that frightened me, but then he sighed and said, "You deserve to know everything. Clara didn't just disappear. She left a letter." I stared at him in shock. "A letter? Where is it?" He opened a drawer and pulled out a folded piece of paper. He handed it to me. My hands trembled as I opened it. The letter was written in neat handwriting. Clara wrote that she felt trapped, that Ethan's love was too controlling, and she had to escape before she lost herself completely. My eyes widened. I looked at Ethan. He shook his head quickly. "It's not true, Hannah. I never hurt her, I swear." I didn't know what to believe. That night, I dreamed of Clara's face. I saw her crying, begging me to run. I woke up sweating, my heart pounding. I decided to search more. The next day, I went to the town library. I asked the old clerk about Clara. His eyes grew wide. He said, "Clara was kind, but one day she came here crying. She said she was afraid of her husband." My stomach twisted. Was Ethan hiding a dark side? When I returned home, Ethan was waiting for me. "Where were you?" he asked sharply. I lied and said, "Just walking." He studied me with cold eyes, then smiled strangely. "Don't dig into the past, Hannah. It will only hurt you." His words sent chills down my spine. That night, I locked the bedroom door while he slept. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was living in Clara's shadow and that her story was not yet finished. The next evening, something unexpected happened. A knock came at our door. Ethan opened it, and a woman stood outside. She was pale, thin, and trembling. My heart nearly stopped when she spoke. "Ethan, it's me, Clara." I gasped so loudly Ethan turned to me, his face frozen. Clara was alive. She stepped inside, her eyes full of tears. She looked at me and whispered, "Be careful, Hannah. He is not who you think he is." My world spun. Ethan tried to speak, but Clara raised her hand. "I left because I was afraid of what he could do. I came back tonight because I don't want another woman to suffer." My hands shook as I grabbed Clara's arm. Ethan shouted, "She's lying." But I looked into Clara's eyes, and I saw only truth. That night, I realized my marriage was built on secrets and shadows, and as I stood between my husband and his first wife, I knew this was only the beginning of a darker story.